Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Season 8 of the SpyParty Competitive League. My name is Taboshi. I'm joined today by Slappy Davis.
Hello, great to be here. So excited.
And we've got Nebula as our host and observer today. 2 matches for you, as per usual. The first one being gold with CRAM versus Hunu. And after that, it's going to be up to platinum with Wrestler versus Tabsies. But gold first. And even our first match of the day is one with some very well-known names.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with Hunu. Hunu has been kind of on the cusp of many tournaments, has done pretty well in some of them. But I'm really excited to see how they play in a regular league. I think that's honestly an area where they'll probably shine. And C-Rams is probably my pick for best player under 4,000 games. They've always punched above their weight for the relative amount of games. They only have, let's see, on the leaderboard I see them as 3,324 games. That is astoundingly low for how much success they've had. So definitely punch above their weight relative to how much experience they have. So really excited to see them match up.
And then you've got C-Rams as well, who has been around the block for quite a while now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think C-Rams has made it into the oh god, now I'm blanking on the meta tournament name. The tournament with money. The SML? That's Major League. No.
Yeah.
No. The big one. The one Mini Rorick won twice. SMC. Cool. I kept wanting to say SML, but I know that was your tournament from a couple of. There you go. SML. Seagrams made it into SML. Actually, I think did okay. Again, SMC. Oh, we're gonna have to move on but speaking of SMC, someone who has SMC in their names is C-Rams, and that's a transition over into the game.
Let's talk about the picks and bans for C-Rams versus Hunu. Hunu actually declines their ban, which is fun.
Yeah, normally when I see the declines, it's I'm thinking that it would say we just didn't get ban info, but it's funny to me that there's no ban, but there's a restrict. So yes, very interesting there.
So it's Hunu declines the ban, and then C-Rams bans Redwoods, Hunu restricts Modern, C-Rams restricts Terrace.
Yeah, so this is Redwood's very common ban. I don't know if actually C-Rams is worried for it specific against Hunu or just kind of the venue that if you're going to practice it, you kind of have to practice a lot. So common ban. I do love that venue, but not surprised to see it. And then what's funny to me is that Hunu restricts Moderne, not so much that they're not willing to play it, they just don't want to play it for 4 games. So no more than 4 games for Moderne, but willing to let that go through. And that does. So I'm really curious to see if they regret that, because they did let Moderne through if they didn't want to play it. And then the Terrace one, I agree. I wouldn't want to play 4 games of Terrace either.
And that leaves us with Hunu's ban of 4 games on Veranda. C-Rams takes 4 games of Courtyard. Hunu takes 2 games of High Rise. And C-Rams takes 2 games of, as you alluded to, Moderne. So that's going to be the setup for the first match.
Yeah, big. I love seeing Veranda up first. Like I have hesitancies around Veranda as a place, but it is a really interesting map. And I do like it appearing first, because sometimes there's the alphabetical order that we play sometimes in, and Veranda is much more common as a single pick for these kinds of tournaments because it's so often split. So if we're going to see Veranda, I do like seeing 4 games of it in a row.
Agreed. Let's hop right in to Veranda to get this show on the road. It's going to be C-Rams on the spy side to start us off today versus Hunu's Sniper In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And I'm curious how we're going to approach on this one because to me, sometimes with Veranda, you choose kind of early on what. Oh, that's a bummer and a shake from C Rams. We try to get the flirt at the window, and it had to be within like split second of it taking in there, which is a bummer because we do risk being paired a little bit because we went to the very front of the venue, so we're probably paired a little bit, and we have no credit for it. So a little unfortunate.
Indeed. Bit of a slow start on this one. Reasonably long path to that attempted flirt and then not able to get it done. We chase around to the the green side of the venue rather, and the seduction target then bails on us entirely to take their book elsewhere. They've come back, but we haven't been able to get any progress at all in the meantime. So it's going to be Briefcase to open up the festivities. A difficult print. Are they able to hit it? They are able to hit it, so that could be very useful moving forward.
One thing I'll say is we were in that conversation alone for like 3 cycles. I maybe there's something I am missing, but almost certainly multiple cycles there too long to be alone in there. I don't think Hunu is that kind of player to notice that, but just interesting. Really, man, I didn't know that Ambassador could fit through that spot next to Boots. That's really cool, honestly. That would be like such an amazing bug if we were on the inside part of that. But man, they really. I'm actually impressed with that path. Good job, Ambassador. That was cool.
So that brings us to 34% on the flirt as we're able to tuck in next to our seduction target after the start there. One print in the pocket, only 2 minutes and 45 seconds to play, so we've used a lot of time for very little progress. Let's see what C-Rams is able to do with what little progress he has.
The other problem here is Ambassador happened to end up near Briefcase. So Briefcase is just going to chill here with no fingerprint on it. We might even... I mean, I guess we can't even really readjust too easily to bump Ambassador out, but... Oh, no.
That was action priorities. I'm
Yes.
sure that was an action priorities issue, but that was like such a weird sort of situation that there's no way the sniper's eyes would be on that, and indeed they were not.
So here's the good and bad news. If let's say I was C-Rams at this point, the good news is... well, I guess I'll start with the bad news. The bad news is I feel like we've missed multiple opportunities and we're way behind on time. But the good news is it's also Veranda. So if I have a rough start on Veranda, I'm like, okay, well, this isn't necessarily the game that I wanted, but I probably was gonna have to be risky and do something weird on Veranda to win anyways. So this might free up C-Rams to be extra aggressive or really go all in on like a frame or something. So it's not the end of the world because, again, Veranda's just tough for spies.
White test on the second flirt to bring us up to 68%. And then into the statues for a pair of inspects. Back into conversation with the double agent this time to pick up the contact. One low light off of that. So not a lot of information given up to the sniper. So pretty good contact all told.
Yep, contacts are still pretty interesting on Veranda. We're not going to be close enough for an automatic flirt, I think, here. I think we might have to hit this green. We do
and
not...
he doesn't hit the green! It's 97%! This is such a rough first game for C-Rams. Under a minute to play, we still only have the one mission completion. Lots of progress, mind you, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, we might even go for a swap here. I'm curious to see if we feel that much pressure. We do not. So we probably are going to go just finish that flirt. By the way, our seduction card gets low lit for doing nothing all game, which totally valid. They've just been standing there. Good on Hunu to pick up on that. The fact that they've just kind of been standing there literally the entire time. We are going to hit this other difficult fingerprint. So interestingly, we have more pace than we might have had otherwise. We are going to hit the flirt, and I imagine we're just going to literally go crash bug because we have no... we could book as well. We have flashing. It's just a shot.
Yeah, we're not going to have the opportunity as Hunu is on top of it enough to be willing to just take the shot before any more happens there.
I mean, we did stick our arm out for the bug, and we did do 5 things, so not a bad shot at all.
Hunu picks up game number 1 as he steps into the sniper side of things versus C-Ram's sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And also good on Hunu because like one of the things that can happen for snipers on Veranda is if the spy has a slow start that's kind of random, they may we're gonna have an early time ad here. We're gonna see if it's on it. It's actually at a pretty good timing. I do like this. Ambassador is kind of in a weird position. Are we gonna go for this bug? I think we could have gotten that for free. C-Rams was looking off to the right at that specific moment, but I think no harm, no foul on that for sure. And we are just gonna be hanging out here a little bit. There was a lot of movement, but no progress yet except for the time ad.
In conversation with the double agent, and not a bad time for it. Apparently, Hunu agrees, so contact is going to be coming off. What's the reaction? There's 2 lowlights, 3, 4 lowlights. Smallman was also a lowlight available but not taken, so we'll see if anything comes of that later on.
Yep, definitely not a terrible banana bread. The only thing that's a bit of a bummer is, of course, it knocks out 2 early inspectors. But given that we have had the time ad, we should be able to marinate a few more people grabbing inspects as the game goes on. And we're not any of the highlights so far. I actually have not paid attention. I think they've been inspectors, but I haven't seen anything else come out. There's 3 that have highlight, and 2 got knocked out. That feels like a lot for inspects so early on Veranda, but could happen.
Into conversation we go next to the seduction target, picking up 34% on the close white test flirt. We've had a couple of opportunities to get a sneaky little bug in on the ambassador as he's come back and forth behind us, but none of those opportunities have been attempted by Hunu, so just playing his cards really close to his chest so far.
Indeed, and I figured we were going to use the briefcase as an exit strategy here. I do think that Hunu was hoping that there would be a fingerprint still on it, because it seemed like we intentionally waited for Ambassador to leave the conversation next to us before we were going to go try to chase our seduction target. And I think it was because if we waited long enough, we would be the nearest person obligated to the briefcase. But unfortunately, nothing for it, but could be a little bit of active idling as well. And we're going to bail out from going to what looked like bookcases because we didn't want to be near Ambassador maybe. And we are going to slide in next to him, but not take the bug.
Into statues we go for at least the 1 inspect. Ambassador's holding the other statue. Do we try to take the inspect on the second? We do indeed, it looks like.
It seems like
nope,
we actually
just
we
going
don't.
to be
We
the
just
1 inspect, sorry.
Yeah, so it's tricky, right? So inspect is interesting that you can't interrupt it. You literally are stuck. So I actually don't mind this decision. So there's like a weird I don't even know how to parse it as sniper fully, but if you grab a statue next to somebody else, sometimes it's more or less suspicious depending on the sniper. If you stay for if you put it down and only get that first inspect, or if you actually stay until after they leave. Because it's one of those few times in which a spy will actually only do 1 single cycle on their first one and only get that 1 inspect is because there's a person blocking in and they don't want it to look too obvious. But then, in a reverse way, maybe it is obvious if the only time that a person doesn't stay for 2 cycles is when there's a person that's at the statues next to him. It's a little bit tough. We seem to opt into not going for the inspect and still staying long enough.
Hunu is pretty well known for slow starting games and fast ending games, but that's the second flirt right there. This one a close green to bring us up to 85%. We've got the 1 inspect and the contact done, and we only have 1 minute and 20 left. Even with a late rush here, this is not a ton of progress. This is going to be hard to finish.
Yep, and we are one of 5 highlights, and we are stepping into the statues on the other side to finish up inspects, presumably. Long time C-Rams is on the other side of this. C-Rams might be trying to bait out a swap, and they are going to get the swap. It's going to be green, so presumably Hunu is going to want to finish up inspect and probably bug or something before that statue goes. Luckily, it's not Rocker. Rocker's not the first one to get called over. That would have been pretty quick. Where is the call? Where is the call?
Yeah, no
Why is
call yet.
seduction target? Oh, here we go. Here we go. The call is on Freeman. So a really distant call. This actually might work out pretty well for Hunu. Um, we are grabbing the statue.
Swap
So
done.
C-Rams needs to come check this. We're not checking it yet, at least. We don't seem to see the threat. We do see
Now
it. We
sees
do
it.
see it. We've confirmed.
It's a low light that took it. There's the win pending on the green purloin, but C-Rams was on top of the swap. So that little bait trying to get Twin to swap wound up being exactly what happened. And even though it took him a little while to catch on, he did catch on in plenty of time. The shot comes off, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, and C-Rams had to take that shot quick because there was a... If we had bug done... Actually, I want to test that. Let's see. From the swap timing, swap happens at 24. Yeah, we would have been done. If we had bug already done, C-Rams actually would have been too late on the swap catch to have shot us within the 10-second window.
But we did not have a bug complete, unfortunately. A couple of opportunities did present themselves that game, but they were not in the end taken. It's 1-1 as C-Rams steps back into the spy side of things versus Hunu's sniper on Veranda in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, I'm always fascinated with sequencing. The sequencing of ending with green swap, green purloin with an early BB could be confusing for the sniper, but it also plays into if they feel like they've been relatively on top of the party, it just gives them a lot of control. I'm curious how often that works, because like if you cascade the swap alongside a banana bread, it can be really just devastating, especially for that time window. But it just didn't quite seem to click together for Hunu in that one.
29% on the early flirt, and C-Rams right now is just sort of hanging out, surveying the party, waiting to see if he can find any opportunities.
And as
able
you're saying,
to take the time for a timer flirt as well. This one also white to bring us up to 59%. Banana split on the way out.
We are going to split. I don't think we're going to get credited for the split. We're not getting highlight though, but we are very obviously not getting low lit, so that's a bit unfortunate. We could actually be among Hunu's tops because of it, but a pretty good reaction, honestly, from Hunu here. We really got clean lowlights kind of all over the place. There was a handful. It was not a bad banana bread at all, but we really made the most of it. We're going to be stepping in over here. I'm curious how much we're going to stay on screen. We're barely being kept on screen. Hunu actually seems to be watching us very closely, honestly. This seems to be very, very intentional on us. We're going to walk away without doing any microfilms or anything like that. But I would expect Hunu to be 100% sure about this red bookcase's location.
Indeed. Back into conversation we go with the seduction target to try to get a third flirt here. Does hit the green test and is in range to get it done in 3. So that's the flirt done. But this red book has death written all over it if it goes back into the wrong bookcase. So we've got to bring this back to its home.
Absolutely, and Ambassador actually just had visited Red Bookcase, but it looks like that the fingerprint's going to get smudged by Papa Danger anyways, so us going in there is not going to be a problem. I do think that we also unfortunately had to go back to the exact same conversation position that we were in previously. So I'm curious if Hunu has actually tracked the fact that when we split, we might have noticed where we came from, and the fact that we went right to the exact same spot and then flirted again and then left might be ringing some alarm bells in here. Oh, we finally figured out this book, by the way. I guess we just had that.
Fingerprint on the book, was able to hit it.
Yeah, I guess we didn't remember that it was there, like we were cycling through actions or something. I'm curious about why we waited so long.
That's hilarious. Ambassador back into the red bookcase.
Yeah, Ambassador's been at red at least twice then, and also dropped a fingerprint on the statue here. We've been in this conversation for quite a while now. Let's see. So there's a fingerprint We do not have inspects on this one. We are going to go into green. This is the moment of truth for sure. I'm
It's a
fairly
hard
certain this is going to be a
microfilm
shot, though.
transfer. No reaction from Hunu as of yet. Doesn't really look like his eyes are on it.
We are taking our time in the putback, so we're not giving anything more.
I mean, just being here is a hard tell if you know where the books come from.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, Hunu might be one of those players that won't shoot until they know that they're done with the mission, just because of, like, habit. Although we do really seem to be looking around. This doesn't seem
Yeah.
fake, this part right here. We're looking at Trey.
I think that
So,
may have been clean. I think when it came back over, he may have stopped paying attention to it. White test on the window was enough to pull Hunu's attention. Take the shot. It's 2-1.
yep, it was before the beeps, but it does still introduce the color change. So it was definitely a risk. I mean, but otherwise, I mean, actually, I kind of feel like we probably should just gone for it. Because if we went straight up fingerprint, like the rest of the things that we had left over, we're going to benefit somewhat from having extra time. But it's not like I don't feel like we were going to bait out a shot. Anyways, we get shot for the time ad. Not a terrible time to it. Didn't work.
Yeah. I like the idea. Just didn't wind up working out as Hunu steps back into the spy site for the last game of Veranda versus C-Rams a Sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And I don't think anyone's reached mission win countdown yet out of any of them.
We've had a pending, but no countdown.
That's true. We did. You're right. We did reach. That's close enough. Reaching pending, because like honestly, sometimes if there's the sets of 4 verandas and the spy never even reaches mission win countdown, I'm always a little sad. But honestly, the pending is that's close enough. We had 5 missions in there. It's just that it wasn't going to happen for us.
Bit of a slow start as Hunu waits for the party to settle before he starts moving and then chases the seduction target out to the green side of the venue to pick up a close green test on the flirt for 50%.
And hopefully this kind of like starts us on a little bit more of a charge here. It is, of course, tempting to just kind of timer flirt. Yeah, at 50% do feel like you've got to just timer flirt because it does mean you actually have you've spaced it out exactly correctly, where you have the most amount of distance that you can do to 2 green flirt and still be okay and get to 100%. So I guess I would timer flirt 2 in that position. 50% just feels right.
Yeah. You sound so disappointed about it.
Yeah, because like there's something where it's like every once in a while I will also just kind of only timer flirt for like the first part, and I need to mix it up more, but I guess I'll just acknowledge it. There it is. We get rewarded. We get the 2 flirt with a decent amount of distance between us. So hopefully we put our foot on the gas a little bit. We do not opt into either taking or rejecting a drink. We do not want that posed to us quite yet.
Flirt done in 2 is always nice to see, and away to the window we go with just under 3 minutes to play. Not a ton of progress other than the flirt being done, but we've got enough time to get the other missions done for sure, as long as we know what the plan is.
Yep, and we have a path through Ambassador if we want to. Oh, but that was not the timing if we wanted to, so we are...
Oh no! That was the buggingest path I've ever seen in my life, even though he didn't bug.
Agreed, yes. Hopefully C-Rams was... Actually, the best thing for C-Rams would be looking really closely at it and seeing that there wasn't an arm out, so that it'd be like, oh, if that was the spy, they would have bugged. But it actually seems like C-Rams was actually looking at Trey more so. So we might have only caught some of the fact that we were spinning near Ambassador. The other thing with this Ambassador position, I was about to say, is Ambassador doesn't have to leave anytime soon, but actually does anyways. We are going to be the first, if we want for the briefcase, which we don't go for. I don't know if we would have been obligated for that, but we decided not to go for it.
I think Taft got in close enough that we were probably okay to step away from it. Into the blue bookcase we go to take out a book, and we do indeed take out a book. We'll see what we do with it as we head back over to the green side of the venue.
Yep.
In the conversation with the double agent first, it looks like. See if we can pick up this contact early on. It is a green test, so we're able to get it done without any delay. Pretty good one, too. 3 low lights, but no more.
And we opt to stay in the conversation circle. Hard to tell how it would have played out, so I can't say if it was a good or bad choice. And we are going to dump this book.
Yep, this is the direct microfilm transfer. Book is away, very on screen. C-Rams looks like he was paying attention to that kind of thing, but no major reaction as of yet.
We're hanging out here at the window. Maybe we're gonna actually try to get a drink offered to us soon. We've hanging out there for a long time, actually. Yeah, we want a drink offer. I was gonna say it seems like we see purloin as our method of finishing. There was a drink taken right before us, so at best we're gonna need a green. Here is gonna be a white. So if
It's a white, oh dear.
C-Rams would know with 100% certainty if they're on top of the chain. But also, of course, with there not being a chain, sometimes you don't check purloin. We are getting zoomed in. It's actually take a second for them to
That's a
recognize
bug. It has to be. There was no time on the clock, but did not get enough of an angle in the conversation, so that arm was just right on out there. Easy to see. C-Rams is on top of it, takes the shot, and we're level at 2 after Veranda.
It's too bad that we weren't able to do that. Like, I mean, we basically did as soon as we got in there, but it was almost perfectly timed that it would have been lined up with the purloin. I'm curious if C-Rams would have been able to shoot just on the purloin alone, or not. But close.
Either way, it's level at 2, heading into Courtyard. Any 4 of 7 next. I believe this is C-Rams' pick, as he's going to start on the spy side versus Hunu's sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And of course, we'll be in friendlier spy territory now. Not so friendly, but still friendlier, easier. We can have a talk and immediate leave. It's actually like I think it's a little bit lucky that the Turing statue is between us, because Duke has one of the worst talk and leaves. Like he immediately brings his hands up. So doing the thing where you talk and try to bail on it, you just see so much arm action. I hate Duke's talk animation for this reason.
Well, no serious reaction out of Hunu, so you have to assume none of that was seen. Back into conversation we go, this time at much more of a distance. Another white flirt brings us up to 59%, so we're going to need a green test at a reasonable distance to finish this up in 3.
Yep. Luckily, Courtyard it's not as important. The thing with Courtyard, at least for my game, is seduction's not that hard to get, but you need to still do other stuff in between. So, like, if you're a player that just kind of needs to do seduce first, or feel like you have it locked down, where at least you only have like one guaranteed flirt left before you start doing other progress, Courtyard can bite you a little bit, because you don't need to worry about seduction. It's actually not that hard to pick up as you go through. But again, if it's blocking the rest of your game from developing, sometimes that can become a little bit problematic. And unfortunately us, seduction target leaves during the action test, and we do not get it. Just to also reiterate, so earlier we had a seduce left while we were at Windows. That is unfortunate, but more common, because there's a delay between when you. Oh my God, that's predictable at least. C-Rams could have known that Papa Danger was about to leave, but there's a delay in between actually when the flirt takes. For seduction leaving during your action test, there's literally like a half a second that they have to leave in that window for that to happen. It's very unfortunate.
Does eventually hit the green test on the 3rd flirt to get it done in 3. There's the contact coming off as we step away. Not a true banana split, but a fairly quick leave afterwards actually gets us credited for being in motion during the contact. So this is a huge moment for C-Rams as he steps into statue. That's the inspect's done. That's the swap done. That's the one thing that could get him caught in this situation. Hunu has a look around, sees the statue changed, moves the neutral light the low light back up to neutral, but isn't willing to take the shot. The game ends with C-Rams getting it done on missions, and that's our first spy win of the night.
Yes, we really are fortunate there that the low light happened. So one, I mean, I'd say fortunate, but I mean, it was an intentional plays, right? Like we took the risk of leaving during the banana bread. It works out great because like swap is so stressful on Courtyard because after the moment you swap, if it's been at least like 2 minutes and there's been a banana bread, when you see a swap, you basically need to assume that you're in mission win countdown. If it's a green swap or not, you have 10 seconds to decide. So I do think that Hunu needed to actually just straight up shoot at that moment if they did recognize the swap. Like, I know there's a temptation to parse it out. Like, okay, was that possibly a green or not before then? If it's a minute left, you just gotta shoot. You just gotta shoot, and C-Rams gets one.
It's hard to just slam that trigger when it's a low light that took the swap, because at that point you're fairly sure it's a swap and you need a green swap rather, and you need a moment to work it through. So I don't blame him for not pulling the trigger on it right away, but I totally get what you mean, and this time it works out brilliantly for C-Rams as he steps in to the sniper side, looking to solidify his lead as Hunu steps into the spy side, looking to strike back in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And we might be much bolder than normal going in for like a close position on Ambassador, but we instead kind of position ourselves averse from Ambassador. So there's a good amount of space between Ambassador and pretty much everybody else. We are going to get the drink fingerprint. Are we going to go for the double fingerprint immediately? We could win this race if we want to. We opt not to, though. Seduction Target's going to grab it first.
Either way, a very early print on the drink is a very strong start for Hunu. It's very... There's, on this venue, less to look at right in the time of chaos than there is on many venues, but there's still enough that you're probably... could very easily completely get away with a very early drink print like that. We are able to get 51% on the flirt off the close green, and then a contact as well, only lets off the one low light. This has been a very strong, fast start from Hunu.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it is partially a little bit of bummer there that Seduction Target leaves. I was gonna say it's partially because our Seduction Target has been such a friend to us. They grabbed the first fingerprint briefcase. They came back to basically the exact same spot. Came in for conversation. Double agents in the same conversation. So we not only have good progress, but I'm almost sure that Hunu knows that their Seduction Target is in the same spot as us. They're basically exactly equally as threatening as us. They've been near people in conversation circles. They have a fingerprint. They were near Ambassador for a time, and they have a contact. So there's two particular people that might be interesting to see how it plays out. We're going to see where our Seduction Target goes, because we do need to actually go finish this, but they're next to Ambassador, so we kind of don't want to go near our Seduction Target. We are going to go for the cross-conversation flirt, because I was basically wondering, if we go to the spot that Taft just ran into and had no problem filling up, we would be right next to Ambassador to finish up, but we decided to go cross-conversation, which works out fine, because we end up with a 76% flirt because of the weight.
Yeah, it's a fairly small conversation, so even fully across the conversation circle isn't too bad. 76% is where we wind up, and away we go, I think, looking for... Oh, I thought we were going to try to hunt down the briefcase, but it looks like we're just hanging out at windows to try to reposition for the last flirt here. Less than a minute to play, and we've not yet been to statues. It's back across the conversation, but this time we do hit the green to get it done in 3. 40 seconds to play.
You know, something I haven't seen for a long time, it's just been a long time, was intentional red flirting to move the Seduction Target around. That might not have been a bad option this game. Now, we're still in a good position, so we're still in a useful position. I don't know if, the one thing we would have loved is if Ambassador left a fingerprint on a statue. I don't think they have, but I could have just been missing it. It seems like this is not a fingerprintable statue.
15 seconds to play as we finally step into the statues. We pick up our pair of inspects. 10 seconds. It's gonna be a swap. It's gonna be a green swap, so this is going to hang at 0 for a little while. I hope we go. I thought we were going to go statue to statue for a second there to try to delay the call for the take, but
Go grab that fingerprint. Is that a
this is a
fingerprintable
difficult
briefcase? I don't think it
situation.
is, because like I think if we let the swap go off, I imagine we're dead. But I
Also
think
a green Purloin pending at this point. Stepping away, there's the overtime on the swap. Season is running around the statue to try to dodge the sniper. Is he going to stay away from it? He's on screen, but the shot's not in time. And Hunu with the most dramatic escape imaginable manages to run out the clock and tie it at 3.
I love these. I love these more than dances, to be honest. The running around the statue I think is so fun. Oh my god. We just happen to be on the exact run. So this is the threat. So props to Hunu. Honestly, they positioned themselves really well. I think that Hunu might have wanted to try to get a fingerprint so that it wouldn't have looked like the swap call was the finish. Because if we penned the swap and then we go fingerprint, we kind of like are ending at a weird time, so that maybe it seems like it's someone that could have been at Windows that hit a green time at the last second rather than us. But we do end up going for the swap, and then or the swap does end up being the thing. We position ourselves on the far side, and Hunu basically has to pick a direction at the very beginning. If C-Rams rotates to the left, I think we've been able to shoot Hunu, but we swing to the right, and Hunu's able to ring around the Rosie just barely long enough to win. Oh my god, that's gotta be so frustrating for C-Rams.
Also, honorable mention, Twin tucking in right behind us to help obscure the shot just that little bit, which might have earned us the extra half second we needed to get away with that.
Absolutely. So yeah, swaps proving very potent so far on Courtyard, at least very nearly potent for both. So big. We love swaps. We love seeing swaps. Courtyard, great time to swap.
We're tied at 3 with 2 games of Courtyard to go. C-Rams back on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So now the thing is, like, we've had actually a couple weird or high stress Courtyard games. So I'm curious if we just go for something like just like but we're so close to Ambassador. It's gonna be so tempting to bug. Are we? I think we are crowding Ambassador. No, I guess not. I guess just barely not. Like I think it's okay. Maybe you know this. Crowding Ambassador, like it's not touching circles because that's obviously that's standing bug range.
Yeah.
Is there like a UI way to tell from besides the fact that you will start?
I think so. If you look at the inner circle on that the seduction target has, I think if you imagine that the ambassador had one of those. Also, a bug happened while I was trying to explain this, so that's a thing. But yeah, if you imagine that the ambassador has one of those inner circles that the seduction target has, if the spy's circle is touching that inner circle, that's crowding.
I think that sounds right. I also missed this bug because I was like, oh, that's a great way to think of it, is the inner circle on that one. Honestly, I think Ambassador should have the inner circle if it wasn't probably more confusing than we.
That's a shot. That's just a shot. What is happening on this venue?
What is happening on this venue? Because that's such an early shot. So obviously we didn't really do very much to prompt that, like except for the fact that there was obviously we contacted, right? But we're going to contact on every single Courtyard. So that's a big shot from Hunu. I think maybe possibly one of the things I want to go back to the beginning here is no, we got to see the statues. Like Wheels was there early, and maybe we might have just mismemorized statues. Honestly, I think we probably mismemorized statues. That's my guess right now. Because that's just such an early shot, and Wheels did hang out at those statues. Yeah, I feel like it's got to be mismemorization. I can't justify that shot otherwise.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Every now and again, you just hallucinate a swap, and when 2 successful swaps has happened in a row, it's easier than normal to do that.
Yep, absolutely, and like because I do think we got like a little peek, but it did seem pretty quick. But yeah, if you if you don't lock down on the statues, and like even if someone gets there before you, you're that actually happened to me in my match this week. If somebody gets to the statues before then, you just kind of have to assume they swapped, which is very, very stressful. So honestly, C-Rams gets a bit of luck here, so we're still able to capitalize on it.
One more game of Courtyard to go. Hunu on the spy side, looking to keep things level in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, it's Courtyard gone so much better for the spies than Veranda, as one would expect, at least to some extent, but probably not to the extent that we would have thought yet. So big moments in here. We are going to go for these. Seems like I can't remember. Was it? It was Hunu that did the cross conversation flirts before. Might be a little way that they like doing the flirts on Courtyard, so they're not always next to the person because these conversation circles are nice and small.
41% off of a cross-conversation green flirt to start off the festivities here.
This is a really crowded conversation circle. If a couple more people jump in, I was gonna say it might be even a good time for a fake banana bread, which is not the worst time for a fake banana bread, but now there's actually a decent amount of people out, so we probably won't be doing that. We're gonna be hitting our timer flirt pretty soon here, and then a problem could be that. So Ponytail is an SDA, so Hunu doesn't know that they are. Ooh, we're gonna.
I like the attempt.
I think we're fine. So
yeah.
Just fishing, no problem.
Behind the back bug attempt as the ambassador drops by, heading towards the windows, was not in range to take, but was pretty well hidden by a very busy conversation. Back into the conversation we go with the seduction target. A close white flirt there brings up to 74%. Pretty good numbers as far as that's concerned. Under 2 minutes to play.
Yep, and I saw Hunu looking at the SD when their statues for kind of a while, and I was kind of worried that they might go for a swap frame. But that moment is past, so that's not going to be the case. So at least there's that. Ambassador is going to be dropping into that same statue, actually. So we might be paying attention to that as well. We have an offer here. We just do a innocent reject. And Wheels, the target of last game, is sitting at statues right next to Ambassador here. We'll see if they are staying for 2 cycles, so they actually might also be picking up a little bit of suspicion here, because they, next to Ambassador, stayed for a long time, hanging out, and Ambassador, as well, is leaving another fingerprint on the other statue.
There's the flirt finished as we enter conversation. Double Agent drops in to say hi as well, so this is a pretty decent time for a contact. We're going to take the Purloin instead. That's a straight take on the list on the Purloin. The contact to distract, but doesn't distract. Zooms right on in on that tray and takes the shot for it. C-Rams goes up by 2.
Yeah, I want to see the reaction on this. So, I don't mind the fact that we are purloining, but we were going to stay on screen for a while. Ambassador was in the statue set near us, and Toby was directly there. There was just not a lot of reason for rotations to their side, I guess, except for Disney just checking on statues. But we were going to be seen, even for a reject, there was going to be lots of ample opportunity to track who was getting offered, all that kind of stuff. So not sure about the exact timing on that, but still a great catch by C-Rams.
So that's C-Rams with an advantage, 3-5, the current scoreline as we head into High Rise. C-Rams on the Spy first versus Hunu's Sniper on a 3 of 6 venue. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And now if Hunu had gotten that ring around the rosy spy win, this would be looking extremely dire. So they're being kept into this match by that alone. So we'll see if they're able to bring it back a little bit. But had it gone the other way, that one shot, Hunu would be in quite a bit of trouble.
Alternately, if Hunu hadn't accidentally hallucinated a swap, we might be even.
True.
Eyeing up all 3 of the useful NPCs were in that hallway. The Double Agent, the Seduction Target, and the Ambassador all hanging out there. Waits for them all to clear out before we step into the green bookcase.
Yes, and to note, we do have transfer on. We fail the fingerprint, so we might just abandon fingerprint at this point. But this the map selection was forced between swap or finger or microfilm. We choose microfilm and then we turn off purloin. So this, generally speaking, this selection of missions is ones that can get civ shot. It's got the fewest hardtails and the most just things that anybody might do. It leaves the least number of traces. So it's a paranoid setup, but it does require active party goers, which there does seem to be a decent amount of. I don't think there's been a ton of statue visits, but there's been lots of motion near Ambassador and visits to bookshelves.
Seduction joins us in conversation to say hi. We're only able to get 17% off of the flirt from it, but it is still flirt progress. We're edging closer and closer to this blue bookcase, which is making me a little bit concerned, but it's just out to the window and back into a better position with the seduction target to try to get us up to 50. We do get up to 51 with that close white. We're going to need a green test to finish it in 3 minutes and 8 left to play.
Yeah, and we're looking around a little bit. So, given the fact that we have these missions selected, we're probably going to be very attuned into who could possibly be done. But again, like we've just had so many people like going around and being active, but not at the statues. So it's been a little bit strange. I've not held a good track on who in the party could be done with fingerprint, but I have a feeling there's actually some threat out here. We do have the contact come off. We do
shot.
Yep, that is a straight up shot. The paranoid setup works.
Yeah, Hunu just had a few too many AI doing stuff. The party was not lining up very well for C-Rams in particular. The double agent dropped in to say hi right as the seduction target stepped away from us. But when the AI is as active as this party had been, sometimes that doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I can see where the shot logic is coming from. We had General visited General picked up a briefcase. General visited Ambassador at bookshelves, and then visited Ambassador again at paintings. Either one of those could have been a bug attempt. So we could be done with fingerprints potentially, depending on how our memorization was going. We easily could have bugged several times. There was just too much on one person, and the shot's coming off.
Back into high rise we go. Hunu in a dire situation now. It's 3-6 with, I believe, 3 match points for C-Rams as he sets into the sniper side of high rise in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep. So Hunu playing for a tie at best and needs to win out from here. But definitely can do it. So we have the same setup, by the way, as the previous as CRAM setup. So again, it is going to be the soft tell, hopefully civ shot kind of variety in there, which did work out. Again, even without a lot of statue visitors, which was the main thing I was worried about for them. But honestly, statue visitors are probably less important than like really good potential bugs. Speaking of really good potential bugs, I am curious how suspicious C-Rams is going to be of Salmon on that path near Ambassador. Salmon's bug is pretty wide, and that twin Ambassador is pretty thin. So I feel like we could feel pretty confident that there wasn't a bug, but definitely a bug path.
Absolutely. They are able to get a flirt off on said Salmon, though, as he winds up being the seduction target. It is a white test, brings up to 30%. Not able to get the fingerprint off of the drink, unfortunately. So it's right now, it's just going to be that 30% on the flirt as far as progress is concerned. This time of flirt should come up pretty soon, though.
Yeah, and there's tons of activity in this back conversation circle. So this back conversation circle, the group that's in here will probably get a lot of seduction credit just overall. So Taft, Salmon, Papa, Wheels, and Boots. Oh, yep, there we go. We have an instant shot. Okay, let's see if that's a similar situation to the last time. That one feels early, so
it does.
We would have had to be pretty on top of the flirt. So almost certainly flirt and contact is the thing. Where's the other one coming from? Is there a bug path that he had? He did go to. Did he go to two sets of statues? Is that what I'm missing? Yeah, he did. He did go. He did go to two sets. So it's just an inspect, flirt, contact, finish. Yeah, it was the back set. There we go. So soft tell, potential finish, rush, and CRM's just worried about Hunu with back against the wall, putting the foot on the gas pedal. But indeed, we played kind of similarly to the rest of our sets. If we had just played like the ones, I think we were fine.
Trading Civ shots, trading spy wins on High Rise from the spy sides. One more venue to go. It's Modern. As C-Rams steps back into the spy side once more, needs one of these next two games to win the set. Hunu needs to take both to keep it to a draw. Let's see if he's able to do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We're near Ambassador at the start, but I hope we don't pick up bug credit for it. I don't think we do. The drink should help a little bit with that. We are going to be grabbing a statue right away. Is General's at the statue tower, right? Yeah. So we will get the inspect in right before they pick it up. So it'd be interesting to see if they get credited with having 2 or 1. Probably not going to matter too much. There are so many people inspecting at the start of this venue, by the way.
Yeah.
We are in really good company for inspects.
By the way, it's a good thing they hit the green test on that first inspect, or that might have been interrupted. Either way, he is able to walk away from the statues with 2, and into the bar we go.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure what C-Rams' natural response is going to be to having that many inspectors go on. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a time ad. If there's that many initial inspects going on, you just throw a mid-game time ad in there, you probably can get like at least 1 extra of those that group of 5, I think, that were at statues to finish up inspect as well. And because there's been a couple paranoid shots, might not be the worst idea. Seduction target does leave as we try to go in there for what was going to be a very meager flirt anyways, but would have loved to get that started.
I do have the delegate in ready to go, I should say. So if we want to do something with this, we absolutely can, but it would have been nice to be able to pick up a flirt while we were here as well. We do send the delegate to Rocker as we chase down the seduction target, so this could absolutely be something.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes off in time. It's going to be close. I think it's not going to be close. It's so fast.
51%.
And it goes off.
What's the reaction? Highlight on Rocker, so probably saw that the list got taken, I assume, but hasn't really reacted to it other than that highlight on Rocker. So I'm not really sure what to do with that.
Yeah, are we going to join this conversation in contact? Because it would be not a bad idea. Oh, we're actually shifting up conversations to get the flirt. This would actually, of course, C-Rams. Well, no, C-Rams does know that. We should throw a contact out. We should absolutely throw a contact out.
I think we're in range to get a flirt done in 2. Either way, it doesn't matter because we're not able to hit the green test. It's 85% off the second flirt. 1 minute and 45 seconds to play, but we've got 2 inspects. We've got 1 flirt to go. We're in a pretty good spot here with contact still available.
Yeah, we are going to time our flirt. So C-Rams is not going to be leading, because if C-Rams was going to try to throw suspicion onto Rocker, they should have contacted because they know that the double agent's in conversation circle with Rocker. But I think that they're trying to go to the other angle of not trying to frame Rocker as much as just be like, okay, yeah, sure, it was a send. It probably wasn't Rocker, but somebody else is doing it. Because Rocker would have contacted by now. Rocker was one of the people that I think started with inspects at the beginning of the game. So if they go to another set of statues, there could be some trouble there for Hunu for sure.
There's the flirt getting finished. C-Rams heading out to the second set of statues to finish up the inspects. 50 seconds to play, and then it's just contact. So as long as the double agent isn't a jerk about it, this should be mission win countdown in about 10 seconds.
Yep, and Rocker has done nothing, so I don't think Rocker would necessarily be the shot. Because they've really just hung on this conversation at absolutely 0. We'll see how this comes off. It's not a terrible contact around the venue, so we are going to be taking our time. We are risking a little bit. We are going to be getting the white test, though, and here is the moment.
5 seconds. What's the decision? Hunu doesn't look like they're willing to pull the trigger on it. And C-Rams gets it done, winning the set against Hunu 7-4.
Yep, and tough moment there for Hunu to decide to take a shot or not, because if Rocker wasn't done, and we could tell Rocker wasn't done. So if we thought that it was Rocker, we did have the space to wait. So if we really didn't know who did send the purloin, then maybe tunneling on Rocker and seeing if we can happen to catch something else like a bug or something, probably our best bet at that point. So it all came down to the fact that we were not seen at all for that send, not confident whatsoever in who could have been the person sending Rocker.
So that's going to do it for that set. C-Rams gets it done. And honestly, both players played really well. Hunu had some unfortunate luck with the hallucinated swap, and B, just a lot of AI in position to have finished missions.
Yep, absolutely. And not a bad set from either one of them. I don't actually know where C-Rams is landing at this one, but this seems like Hunu's playing well, but C-Rams just able to pull together a little bit more. So C-Rams looking pretty strong in gold altogether.